for me.
Thank you. Good evening. This is our special board meeting on March 25th, 2024, being held at 6:38 p.m. And this is the Board of Park District Commissioners for local park district in Monmouth County, Illinois. And ask please for a call to order for roll call.
Commissioner Greenfield,
Here.
Commissioner Lane, Commissioner Raymore, Commissioner Reeder, Commissioner Walsh,
Here.
Commissioner Weber, President Beeler.
Here, and as we have four of us, and we do have a quorum for this evening. May I ask for someone to please make a motion for the approval of our agenda for this evening? So second. And a roll call for that, please, Marcia.
Commissioner Greenfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Raymore,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, President Beeler.
Yes. On our agenda for this evening is a statement of visitors. This permits anyone who is in attendance either in person or via Zoom to address the board on any matters pertaining to the park district for up to 3 minutes or so in length. We do not have anyone here in attendance at the park district. Is there anyone there on Zoom tonight?
There are no guests on Zoom.
Thank you, John. We'll go on next to our public hearing. This is the public hearing for our proposed 2024 budget and appropriation ordinance. It is 2024-A. What I'd like to do first as president of the park board is call a hearing for public comments on the proposed budget and appropriation ordinance. And any persons who desire to be heard at this time shall have the opportunity to present either written or oral testimony. Again, we don't have anyone physically present here at the park district. Is there anyone, Jeff, on Zoom who would like to make a comment during this public hearing? There is not anyone. Okay. And we have a budget as part of our packet for tonight. I'll ask if there are any comments from our commissioners who are here this evening. There are no comments from the park district commissioners. If we have received any written testimony, at this point, we'll read it into the record. John, have you received any written testimony?
We are not.
All right. And if there's any oral there's no oral testimony. I'm again asking that anyone who's desiring to be heard, now is the opportunity to be able to be heard on our 2024 budget and appropriation ordinance. As no one has any oral testimony, I'll ask for a motion to be made by one of our board members that the hearing be adjourned.
So moved.
And second, thank you. And I have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Greenfield,
Done with the first half. My texts keep failing. Try sending a test.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner, who did I miss? Raymore.
Yes.
And President Beeler.
Yes. The motion is carried and our hearing is formally adjourned. Any further discussion?
There is, well, now we've, not for the public hearing itself, no, we just move on.
So we'll get signatures. So
Yeah, there's a motion, there's a memo in the packet when we get that to it.
got it. Okay. All right. So next up is the president's report. Just briefly, I met with John Hirsch as well as two of the members of the Friends Group who are on the capital campaign for 2025. Really exciting to see what they're going to be doing, but we are going to continue to meet because I think they want to take a tour of the pool and pool deck to see what we have in plan and what's going to be done for restoration and what we do in the future. All right, on to the ordinance itself under our new business. This is again ordinance 2024-A with combined budget and appropriation. So we are looking for approval of our budget.
Yes, that's on page 10 of your packet. You'll see the memo regarding the approval of the ordinance 2024-A. And, this is a procedural thing that we need to do every year in March. It needs to be placed, or posted with the, Lake County by March 31st. So we are asking the board, to make the motion on the memo if, you're in agreement with.
So we get an appropriation total of just over 8 million for the calendar year of 2024. And staff has made the recommendation to approve this ordinance. Is there any commissioners? No, we've gone through this many times already, so this is the formality to be able to approve this ordinance. So may I have a motion, please, to accept the ordinance 2024-A, the 2024 combined budget and appropriation ordinance, disclosing all necessary expenditures and liabilities in all of the district funds for the calendar year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
So,
Second. Marcia, can we have a roll call on this, please?
Commissioner Greenfield,
yes.
Commissioner Raymore, Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
President Beeler.
Yes. Thank you, commissioners. On to the next, new business item, which is our full project engineering and architectural proposal from WT Group.
So, this is something that I handed out to everyone, we'll see you late on Friday, or we get time on Thursday for our packet, and well, some of you know, I was out the project, Sunday, after the weather. So this is what I'm copying for you here is the proposal from WT Engineering. They were the ones, it's the company that did engineering on our full project during the 2014-15 referendum. Improvements with the addition of the baby pool, pothole and liner and some of the other things that were done ahead. In addition to the proposal from them, I've included the budget that was submitted with our grant project, our grant application, as well as the improvements, the list of improvements that were are the other pages that were included with our grant project or application. And so we know you haven't had a lot of time, obviously, to review that because it's handing it out. We've been moving along quickly so that you have the option to do it this fall. That's the interest of the board. Talking with Rich Clark, the engineer that was involved this last time, he felt that it is possible to do it this fall. Still get the project going, try to complete it by next year. He wanted to we're going to reach out, talk to a few construction companies, just checking on lead times for materials and some of the current projects. In fact, one that we had discussed that he talked to was Stuckey Construction, which is in this area. There's one Egan, and they've done some work on pool here for the partnership past, so they have a little bit of experience. Just to get some ideas, again, when we would go to do the project, it would be a bid out public project, public bidding. And then we have our permitting with the Illinois Department of Public Health and the so on page
713.
yes, 713 has the cost of $171,050.
And FMG, it looks like on their proposal that we submitted with the outside grant, had about 299,000.
Correct. So it's staff recommendation that we the board approve this proposal so that we can explore moving forward and still trying to get this done this this year. If you'd like, you can approve it with the caveat that we review it with our attorney before we move forward. But if you really wanted more time, we can meeting a week if you wanted to. But it's sort of,
I think that's what I have.
it's coming up quickly because this special meeting is next Monday, the 1st of April. And it's a committee whole meeting, but that can change if you wanted to vote that night.
It's a discussion on our agenda. Does that mean that we can't vote tonight?
I would show you, right? Okay, supposed to be put down for approval.
Well, and I think especially given the fact that this is our first time to be able to look at everything, and the fact that we have, that we do a quorum, but we're, not. We're definitely attendance, yeah, I think it would be prudent for us to see if there's any questions that are further, bring it up and see if that'd be.
I will not be at that meeting. Can I vote by proxy or anything with that? Like, is there anything I can do to?
Will you be able to zoom in?
Probably.
If you zoomed in and then the board approved you to participate, then you would be able to vote. But they have to have a physical form first. Hey, oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe we can put it at the front or something. I can just run a little bit. Maybe that there's a couple loading things.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's $171,000 fee from WT Group compare the scope of work to the $388,000 from FG.
Well, then, that is something that we would be able to, with another week, be able to explore and find out. The 380 has all the site survey testing, those permitting costs and all of that. So, I think we would have to go through, with that.
I mean, but their architectural, FGMA's architectural and engineering fees are almost double the total fees. Total WT Group.
Yeah.
But if you read the, reversible costs on page 7, again, that's why I think we have to get a little time to be able to look at this, because they talk about reversible costs, prints, delivery service, travel expenses, notification fees, so, you've got things like printing costs of $7K on the FGMA, proposal. We just don't know.
And they also, like, they, like, the one lists permitting fees and the other lists permitting phase.
Phase,
Like,
right.
that's cost there, they're not including the permits in it, technically, so there's some things like that that are slightly different. But the FGMA said also, like, it seems kind of, for $299, which is already, way more than this one, says limited construction visits. So it's like, it's, limiting what they're doing too.
Yeah.
So that helps understand.
Yeah, one of the, and then one of the other things that, I know that the WT group, had asked about was getting CAD drawings from FGM, from what they did the previous work, so that they didn't have to recreate a lot of that, so.
Smart.
I reached out to FGM, they sent me the form, which I signed, returned to them to release. They said they didn't have, there's a full CAD drawings that we might need, but, try to convey that to WT, but because they said if they have to do everything, I said there would be a charge for that. And I just said, well, so that is an option, so we can improve it if we need to, but I don't see that it's an option. And so that gives me a little bit more time to just explore some of those issues, and make sure we get some clarity before you vote on it.
And you said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could they indicate a sort of drop dead date when we would have this back in order to be able to go forward?
They have, they seem a little bit more flexible. FGM needed it before by April, to which that's only April 1st. But they wanted to by April to be able to move to even, get this going for September. WT seemed a little bit more flexible, so make this work, and you start, a week or two later after the full close, and mid or late September, or have time, they hope to do this.
Where do we stand with the village in terms of permits and what they're going to ask us to do?
So it is still a bit of a question mark as to whether we have to do, can do an RIO, just for the full RIO, some or not. Even, I've had some discussion with Drew that, with the village administrator that, because of the nature of this project being mostly maintenance and repair, that we felt more, building permit process, we of course apply all of those, pay whatever applicable fees. They don't charge for fees other than when they incur. So if they have that part of the review done outside, then of course we would pay for that. But so we're still in discussion about that, whether that will work, it's just permit it or needs an RIO. If it doesn't need an RIO, it's RIO for the pool, which was the pool. We're not making changes to the operation or the programming. None of the amenities, we're not, other than some maybe games, maybe some shade, we're not changing, we're not adding amenities, as far as water slides or different, water features, different things like that. But the building, the bump out of the building with the new circuit pit, that will be, that's a little bit more substantial change. And then the ADA,
But it's built, I mean, it's not
right,
changing the use, it's just
no use of programming or anything like that.
Did they give an approximate, like, so I know they said it could be done in that amount of time, but did they say like, this will take 5 months, or this will take 8 months, or, I know it's not exact because of weather and other things, but, we can't have a pause on this project, obviously, like we can't, with the beach, we need the pool.
Yeah. This, I can tell you that is a typical, season, a typical window is to, start construction in September and be finished, by May or June. Chiller Park, I did it in 2006 and 7. We opened it at July 1st of 2007. The only thing that we reused that was there, was the shell of the bathhouse and so everything was new, all the mechanicals inside now, was all new, outside was all new, pool, water slides, vortex, top pool, spray pad, all of that stuff. And we opened July 1st, that was planned, so June 1st, but we started in September, so there's a lot of demo, a lot bigger project than this.
Yeah.
But it is a typical, typical window for contractors to get the cycle work.
Is it a typical window if we sign this on April 1st to be able to get to the permitting with the village in 4 months?
Well, that's that's unknown. I mean, it should be, but, it should be more like 60 days. Even with the required an RIO for the pool, only should be closer to 60-day process. IEPH is at 8 to 12. So they were taking a little bit longer. They were running a little bit further, longer when I get that new production. Looking at things a little bit differently, but
So we don't, if we're gonna go forward with this, we don't wanna wait any longer than April 1st, and we gotta just approve it if we're gonna approve it.
yes, I would say, or we want to go forward for this fall with this project.
It's WT group, we have history with them, so.
Has WTU given you any kind of ballpark figure for the actual construction?
No, and they're working off of this estimate that was done last September. And so, we would get through it with a little, with them a little bit more. But, we're not asked them yet, we're not hired to
But that's
evaluating that's what we're working in the door.
That's gonna go through the competitive bid
It would,
regardless, so.
it would, and, he felt that, we talked about it a little bit, like, he felt with the numbers that were used, that we should be within, fit out for what they're seeing for pricing and project right now. So actually, felt pretty comfortable with that, for the side of the
Does the village have this already? Did we give this to them, the full? Yeah.
Because I asked them to wait the RIO altogether.
Right.
And in one of our meetings, which they said they procedurally maybe we could do, so I sent them all this and. You know, the first response back from Dew was now, I think this would be an RIO. You know, then they were talking about the RIO for all of our parks, you're doing it anyway, so. Now we're not doing it for all, whatever, we're only doing it for pickleball. So, I did tell him I met with him last week, and told him that he coming back with just building a permit and not any review. If that doesn't work, maybe the RIO would pull it.
Okay.
Are there special ping pong paddles that reduce the noise?
They're concrete.
Concrete?
No.
Oh.
It's just, go, don't you, well. Warrant the meat. And it's loud.
That is very loud.
Yeah, they had, and they did have some trouble, I didn't remember, but. It was the direct relation, something that it had, it was. Speaker pointed south and pretty loud, and so they had neighbors to the south. The noise went to the pool, so those were adjusted. The volume was adjusted, but that,
The kids are swimming underwater, they don't get, even one.
and we have, and it's always one of those, what, you know, somebody come in and say, you know, they love the music, why can't we turn it up so they can hear it, and that's what hates the music, why don't we playing it at all? You know, they don't want to hear it, they just want to, you know, do a business run, so. Have a variety there.
I think it would be useful for us for next week. If we could have WT, I mean, like you said. FGMA came up with 290,000. It's the point of the architect. So WT group seems like they're going to be very costly. But I think it would help if we could try to, you know, have WT group look at those other things that are itemized to the FGMA proposal and just say we included that, haven't included that. Just so we can compare that.
So it's clear, yeah, it's true verbiage, like we can get guesses, but we can't know.
That would be the most efficient way to get the information, right? Yeah. So I think that would be the good answer.
So we'll look it up for our next meeting.
So we'll change it to a special meeting. Then we'll put it up.
And if you can, because I know, you know, as you said, this came in last minute to be able to include, make sure that the other commissioners just have copies of this so that.
I did send it to everybody, today, to all of you, just a second, but, I will do that again. We'll include it in the packet.
That would be great. All right, good, because if we move forward on that.
Or anything else, any other questions that you think of, or even if you can't think of something now, if you want to text, email, call me during the week, I'm happy to, you know, to explore these questions further with the, you know, with WT, Road Bar, staff. I've already, you know, sent staff as well, or spend a little bit more time with staff over this, if we have some more internal questions. We'll try to have some more information on the Monday.
I mean, how does, the proposal seems to be fairly complete, does that?
It does look, you know, again, when has as much time to review as well, but I mean, it looks pretty thorough. And this is a very reputable company. When I built a pool in Schiller Park, this was, and was doing the engineering part of it, we used a different firm, Williams Architects, and a different construction manager that was affiliated with Williams, but WT did the engineering, and we had a really good experience with them there, and I think they were pretty well liked. Mike had helped them pretty high regard with this last project that they worked with them on.
It does say, these for permits or paid to review agencies are excluded from this agreement and are the responsibility of the client. Sounds like they're in there, you know, I might spend the same here, yeah. It's on page 4 at the bottom, it's like, it's kind of its own paragraph in the middle of 2 other paragraphs under permitting phase.
So you can be in favor of the draft and any questions you get from other board members, so.
Yeah.
We can all continue later with that.
Yeah, so, and this also, it also says under geotechnical engineering that this task includes 4 soil borings, which is soil, you know, soil testing listed over here. So that's included too. I bet we look through this well enough, we can probably match a lot of it back to that.
Yeah, I'll make sure I do that. I'll go through the.
Just so you're not bugging.
Yes.
That's on page 5. I don't see.
Just don't have it.
And we don't even think this alone in order to do this.
You think it's later?
I'll leave tomorrow morning.
Good, thank you, everybody, well, that sounds good.
So if we could get this started this year. That would be good.
That's the interest of the board, and I mean, I think that is definitely possible, you know, talking to Rich, Clark. He seemed, you know, Ray was more hesitant from FGM. Rich was a little bit more optimistic that this would happen. He said, this is fairly straightforward, because we're not doing, you know, we're replacing pipes and liner and some concrete, et cetera. You know, he felt like, this was something we could get started and get, you know, this year or the next year.
Again, with that being, this is not an industry that I'm familiar with, where are we with like material price? Are we down?
They've not gone down, but they have to. So they shot up 25% or, you know, it's a few years there, but he said it shot up to. That's why the cost estimate from last September is still pretty relevant. I don't remember rate built in like 3% for year increase, but you know, I know talking to Rich, it's stabilized the pricing, so we're gonna be much difference, you know, to do it this year versus, you know, start last year or even next year.
If by any chance, again, not being familiar with the building, prices were to go down, would we read that savings the way the bids are written?
If it goes,
It's okay, I'll check my information
they're hold on their feet or on,
for the building. For the building.
building, it means the prices go down before the bidding, you know, before the bids are due. Then they may adjust them accordingly, but, you know, that will be up to the bid project.
Oh,
No, we didn't want, maybe for a government project, that there's a rule built in, you know, like.
Well, no,
You have those in there.
what goes to what you're saying, Sue, is, you know, we talked about doing some gutters, and then when we finally get a proposal done, with open discussion with everybody, gutters get to fall off because the pricing of them would have gone up so dramatically, so, you know, it's not like we're, I don't know what else we could do other than what we have.
We lock in on the sign contract.
So that's,
Yeah.
so that's, and that was one, because those, you know, we were looking at kind of comparing the price of 21, and it was really got so much going to do with it. It's no longer feasible, so now those gutters, the stainless steel, they'll be removed, welded, repaired, you know, and reinstalled for the frame.
So if we go with someone like Stuckey, they presumably provide a construction manager then? Because it says here, please note, we have assumed that a construction manager will be hired to manage the construction of this project. We have therefore limited our construction to observation site visits and including managing the contractors. They've excluded managing the contractors during construction.
Yes,
So they come with their own.
that would be what they,
Okay,
take it construction.
great. I just know that, I understood that.
Going to the stairs, there was somebody there.
Right, from the top.
Maybe the company would see.
The,
They're upstairs, at the stairs in 20.
at the sunrise,
Yeah.
well, Copenhagen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did on onsite superintendent,
Yeah.
and we have a people, business board,
Right.
let them know it's. Like.
Yeah.
So,
Got it, okay.
All right, good, we got that, and that brings us to the end of our agenda for this evening. Unless it's anything else from commissioners on the subject of, pool? Yep. All right, motion to adjourn. So, second, all in favor? Aye. All this meeting to a close, thank you very much, look at that.